So we're back with the Pivot series, and as you know, we've been trying to use different people's stories to motivate and expose people to how people are dealing with the current pandemic, trying to put some positive energy out there. And so today I'm really excited because we have one of my contemporaries, a gentleman who has, in my opinion, transformed the way we do and think about education. So we have joining us today my friend, Mr. Anthony Brock. Anthony, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Dr. Pfluger. How are you today?
I am doing well. So for all intents and purposes, you call me Zilla and I'm going to call you Anthony. Does that work?
That'll work.
Okay, great. So we all know that you do what you do. And we see that you've had significant impact in the educational space, but not everyone knows that. So can you just tell the audience a little bit about who you are and what it is that you do on a day-to-day basis professionally?
All right. I'm from Montgomery. I'm an educator, longtime educator. I started in the Prattville, Tyler County school system, and I've been everything as an assistant principal, head football coach, at-risk specialist. I was a principal of an alternative school, started a mentoring program. But let me back up and say that I went to college at Alabama State University and majored in education, and I got my master's degree from Alabama State as well. So I've been working with young people throughout my career, and actually I wanted to get back to Montgomery, get back to the Montgomery area. And so now my brother and I are the founders of Valiant Cross Academy. It's an all-male school located on Dexter Avenue, and we have a high school campus around the street, and we partner with Troy University Montgomery. So we have about 180 amazing young men, and we've created an environment where they can be celebrated and not just tolerated, and that's very important to the work we do here.
Great. And I know the Valiant Cross story. I was living in Montgomery when it started, and I've seen it grow by leaps and bounds. And I know that it's what you do, it's what you thrive the most in. Tell me a little bit about how you're dealing with the sudden not having your students, not doing your engagement level that you've historically had with your students, all of a sudden unexpectedly as a result of COVID-19.
Wow, yeah, that's a very touchy topic to me because I can say that I miss my boys, and I just miss them coming in every day. I miss them lifting us up and us getting to lift them up every day. And but the main thing we've started to do, of course, is the online and the distance learning, which I think had all of us pulling our hair out a little bit there. We weren't expecting it. I think if we have to start off this fall like that, I think we'll be more apt to jumping in and doing a great job with it. But of course, we use Google Docs, a lot of Zoom classrooms. I think my favorite part of it is being able to get the boys on Zoom and just kind of talk off the record. And I come from the gaming generation, and so a lot of us have been able to connect through gaming. And I just tell all the boys, hey, if you want to play Principal_Brock in Madden 20, I will beat you at any given moment, and they're logging on. So we're staying connected to the boys, staying connected with parents. We've done a couple food distributions. Anytime we know that our boys have a need, that we're there to meet those needs any way possible.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about you and your girls, yes. Right? I know that you live in a house full of women. Yes. I know you take up a lot of time with your girls. What is it now like to be home, spending a lot more time with family?
I will definitely, without a doubt, say that's been the most rewarding. The days that we get to sleep in, the day that they get to come jump into bed with daddy, the day we get to get up early, go sit out back, get on our computers, play games. And so it's actually been great. I'm one that people that know me, they know I love my girls and my wife, and I love to spend time. I love to travel. But what this has done is kept us in the house, and we've had to be creative. We've had to go back to the things that I did when I was young. Even playing around in the backyard. I forgot how my backyard felt actually before this time. So we spent an awful lot of time. I say that's my office. My daughter was planting some little outdoor garden one day, and I looked over there and I said, these are the things that really matter in life. And so it's actually been rewarding to all of us to be able to spend this time at home. Outside of the trauma that's going on with COVID-19, actually, when you look at it on a micro level with your family, it's actually been a special time, an opportunity to spend time with family. So.
Absolutely. It's time with family that none of us could have ever imagined.
Absolutely.
Having the blessing to have. So I appreciate your comments there. A lot of parents became educators overnight, present company included. And I would argue that we have developed an even deeper appreciation for what it is that you all do for our children on a day-to-day basis. Some people have struggled with it and others have thrived. The struggle, certainly for those who are trying to balance work, life, and family is hard, but I'm just talking about the struggle of actually becoming the teacher and What words of advice do you have for parents out there in terms of how to best utilize this time that they have playing a role in the educational experience for their young ones?
Right. Well, first of all, I do firmly believe that there will be a heightened sense of awareness about what educators do. And it's just funny to read and look on social media and see how I think teachers are going to be a little more appreciated going forward for the work they do. But it's been a challenge even to me as an educator to make sure that you're logging on to everything, all these different devices that they're using, the different programs. And I think the best advice to parents from me would be to just jump in head first and to know you're going to make mistakes. And I think that that helps us to realize that sometimes when our kids' grades aren't what we want them to be, that sometimes the work can be challenging. And I think it brings that empathy in that we all need. But you know, it's just amazing to see the parents get more involved. And I believe that's another thing that's going to come out of it. One is the appreciation, and two is the level of accountability now that parents are going to continue to have with their young people, because now they understand what it's like in the trenches to be a young person in 2020, I'd say.
Yeah. So the other side of it is the educators themselves have found themselves teaching on a different platform.
Mm-hmm.
School is out or is getting out. We don't get out until late June. I think you all are already out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit about what advice you would give to educators in terms of how they can leverage this opportunity to reposition how they do what they do on a day-to-day basis.
Right. Well, I would tell educators, my brother and I are more hard-nosed. Our dad was a principal back in the day, and so we only knew it one way, which was the no-nonsense way, right? So my strongest advice would be to quickly pivot, no pun intended, but pivot this summer and quickly jump right back in, even when you don't have your young people. We have an endless amount of technology and resources out there that are available. So I think that we should all be more prepared when school starts back. Don't wait around saying, I need to find this resource or that resource. It's a great chance we may have to start back virtually. So I really encourage all educators to do as much professional development and self-reflection on themselves during this time, and do not waste the summer, because I feel like we've already had a summer actually. And so my brother and I, we never stopped. Our leadership team, we never stop. We're always sending videos. I mean, everybody from Instagram to watching your show, is so many opportunities for growth and professional development during this time that I'm really loving it and I'm appreciating it. It's giving me an opportunity to kind of reset myself and get refocused before we start back as well.
Wow, interesting. Now, this is where we shift gears, where it's just kind of the freestyle portion of the dialogue. But before we do that, I want to talk about something you did in the last couple of days. Mm-hmm. You recently were inspired to do an outreach project that yielded some amazing results. Can you share with the audience what that project was and what the results were?
Wow, I didn't know you saw that, but yeah, it was yesterday, and I just felt, I heard the voice of the Lord clearly just say, you need to figure out a way to help somebody today. This is nothing that you've done in the past. This is not to say you've done, it's just to focus on something new, basically. And so God said that I'm doing a new thing, and I can always do a new thing. And so I thought about impact. And, you know, if you're someone who has an impact, maybe 5,000 or however many followers you can have on Facebook, why not use that for something positive? And so what I thought about is I said, I put it out there. I said, who would like to help me to pay somebody's bills or somebody's gets groceries for someone? And I got an overwhelming response from a lot of people. You know, there are really so many people out there that really are looking for good things to do and have great hearts. And it gave them an opportunity. And so we were able to bless a family who has 2 or 3 boys, I think she has. They're actually not a BCA student, but I did know her from the past. And so when she reached out with her story that I post on Facebook, everybody just overwhelmingly jumped in, and it restored a lot of hope with her. You know, I just think that God has us all in mind, and that gave us an opportunity to be the hands and feet.
Well, kudos to you and all those who stepped up. By the time I saw it, it was done. I mean, I saw the end result with the screenshots. So congratulations for doing that. And you said something very important about the restoration of hope. And one of the things I like to ask people who come onto this platform is to use a few minutes just to kind of inspire the masses. People have lost their loved ones. People have lost their jobs. People don't know what's going to happen. And it's a very, very ambiguous time for a lot of people. And there are a lot of challenges out there. What are some words just from you, from your heart, that you'd love to share with the masses as it relates to how we're going to get through this particular era of our lives?
Right. Well, first of all, I I thank God for the opportunity for us to be still and for us to reflect. And I think that this too shall pass. And I think in the meantime, I think everybody, like I said earlier, should really use this as an opportunity for professional growth. And it may be time for a career change for some people. It may be a time to go a little bit deeper in the profession that you have and try to become an excellent at what you do. And so what I'm trying to do personally is hone whatever it is, the crafts that I do. I play guitar, I draw, I paint. I'm trying to go a little bit deeper and spend more time doing those things. But all hope is not lost. There are so many great stories coming out. And so our heart goes out to all the people who have lost loved ones during this time. I've even lost some people that are close to me, not from COVID-19, here in the Montgomery area. As you probably know about some of our former ASU grads, and just so much going on. And so it can all be so cloudy, but I just say you have to stay focused on the here and the now, and to be present and to bless where your feet are. That's just what I like to do. I always say wherever I am, I want to leave it better than before I got there. And so I really encourage everybody to just figure out the best way to get through a storm is to keep moving and do not stop, and to definitely always bless where your feet are. But definitely everybody just stay hopeful during this time and just keep moving forward.
Wow, excellent. Thank you so much, Anthony, for taking the time to do this. Congratulations on all the work that you've done, but continue to be that ambassador in the community for hope. And thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today.
Thank you for having me today.
Excellent. So there you have it, folks. Anthony Brock. He is the founder of Valiant Cross Academy, an education leader and transformational agent. Thank you again for being a part of the show. I hope it has done something to inspire someone out there. And until next time, let's continue to activate and elevate.